Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building. You got a Showtime special coming out this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Goes by the name of ex-MMA fighter Brenden. I ain't gonna mess up your middle name. You ain't gonna beat me up.
Schaub.
I'll take it.
That's not
What
it?
is it? That's it.
Yeah.
No, that's it. Usually everyone gets it wrong.
What did they say?
It. Schwab.
I was about to say Schwab.
Oh, no,
See?
Schaub.
But I didn't want you to beat me up, so I said I'll just let you say it yourself.
Nah,
Why do you
that's
think
that
he goes
Charles
around
Schwab.
beating people up all the time?
He's an MMA fighter. He might get upset and smack.
Ex-MMA fighter.
He still got it in him.
Not really,
Let's see.
man.
Smack
He's not
Charlamagne. Let's
angry.
see if he falls out, if he knock him out. Let's see.
He's a comedian now. He has a Showtime stand-up special coming out tomorrow.
We'll laugh when
Correct.
you hit him.
What's up?
We'll laugh when you hit him.
Nah, no hitting, man.
Now,
No
why'd you
hitting.
leave MMA and get into comedy?
I don't like to get hit in the face anymore, and
Okay, that's a good reason.
it's just it's a better living, man. For me, this has been a passion of mine for a long time. So, MMA, UFC is a tough go, man. That's a rough go.
How did you get into comedy, though? Like, did you beat somebody's ass and make a joke when they were on the floor? Like, how did you get there? It
No.
doesn't seem like they match.
They don't match at all. When I was fighting the UFC, I was doing a podcast with a comedian actor named Bryan Callen, and so me and him would do that twice a week. And it started to gain some ground, and then it's a bigger show as far as a podcast, Firing the Kid. And I don't know, I just always wanted to do it. And then he was like, "Yo, we got to start doing the road, like live podcasts." And so he would open up every show with me telling like a story for like 8 minutes. He's like, "You're just gonna do a story." I was like, "All right, cool, man." And then probably a year after that, he was like, "Yeah, you got your set tonight?" I'm like, "Set?" He's like, "Yeah, you got your set, your stand up." I'm like, "No, I'm just telling a story." He's like, "No, I just told you stories because I didn't want you to be scared. You're doing stand-up." I was like, "Oh, damn." And then we started to do all these live shows around the nation. Then we did one at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles, and that's where I live. And then the Comedy Store, like 3 weeks later, was like, "Yo, we'd love for you to do a set in the Belly Room Wednesday night, 8 p.m.
What's the belly room?
The Belly Room, so there's the main room, there's the OR, and then the Belly Room's like the smaller room where people start out. And so I texted them back and went, "Oh, let me check with Bryan Callen. If he can do it, I'll let you know." And they're like, "No, dummy, just you. We want to see if you can do stand-up." So that was my first set, and I was off to the running after that.
How was the first set?
Terrible. Terrible.
You bombed?
Bombed in front of all my friends. All my friends showed up, like Chris D'Elia, Callen, Sasso, Bert Kreischer. All of them showed up.
Did
Just
they
watching.
laugh, or they didn't want to piss you off?
There were
and
no
they're not
sympathy
sure
laughs
you was
or
gonna
nothing
fight
like
them?
No, they were like, "Oh, no, it was fun, man. That was cool. Yeah, no, it's fun. I'm glad you got up there." Yeah, you knew. Yeah, it didn't go
You're
well.
gonna eat for effort.
Yeah, it didn't go well.
You know, they were probably texting each other during, like, I don't
this
know.
sucks.
No, they're probably, "Hell yeah, he's not good at this." Yeah.
Do you get more adrenaline before a fight or before a comedy show?
Before a fight is more like fair, Before a fight, it's you're fighting another grown man in your underwear in a steel cage. So
It'd be fun to some people. Sounds like a good
some,
time.
For some people, they love that. That's not me though, man. That's not. As soon as I can do something else, I'll see ya.
But what about people like right now? We're looking at Deontay Wilder talking about he wants to kill someone
Eesh.
in boxing. Do MMA fighters think like that too? Because it is something that could potentially happen and has.
I mean, it hasn't happened, especially at the main level in the UFC. No one's ever died. So maybe on lower level, and it's usually due to weight cutting. With Deontay's my boy. I love Deontay. I've worked a ton with Deontay. Deontay is such a good person. He's he's a great dad. He's a good man. And so when he says, "Oh, I'm going to kill this dude. I'm going to exercise my right," like it's the Purge 4 or something, it doesn't. It brings him down a level. He's the face of heavyweight boxing in the United States. So when he talks like that, it bumps him down a notch. So I just wish he wouldn't talk like that. I don't think it's good. Obviously, we all know someone could die in there. No one's going to die in there. It's probably not going to happen.
Hopefully not, right?
Hopefully not. So when he talks like that, it doesn't help him.
The next person Deontay knocks out should just play dead.
He should.
Just to scare the
He
shit out of
should.
him.
For just the whole time. That's exactly what he should do. Yeah.
But don't you think Deontay's just hyping the fight, thoght?
It did go viral.
Yeah.
It went viral, but in this day and age, it goes viral for the wrong reason.
But he does it. He literally does it before every fight. He says the same thing. "I want to kill somebody in the ring." He says the same line before every fight.
Yeah, I feel like he needs someone just like a PR help, just take him aside. The Showtime PR guys here should just take him aside and be like, "Yo, man, the whole killing thing. Let's get away from that.
Yeah.
Let's get away from that."
If I was him, I'd just aim all my energy at Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Everything should be directed right towards them. He shouldn't even acknowledge Brazil. Don't even acknowledge him.
Yeah.
Go after those guys.
You don't want to look past your opponent either, though. All it takes is one punch, and I think I know Deontay's gonna beat him, but
I'm with you, but if I was him, my marketing, my scheme would be I just go after those guys. I don't even acknowledge Brazil. Not that I'm looking past them, but everything's directed at those guys.
You think he should fight Fury again?
Yes.
Really? I don't think he got nothing to prove.
Really?
No.
You thought he won that fight?
He didn't win off points, but I mean, come on, 2 knockdowns. Like he knocked him down twice. I think what it was what it was.
Agree. I don't have a problem with the draw. I think there should be more draws.
Mm-hmm.
People, you don't have to have a clear winner. If it's that close, I'm cool with the draw. That's fine. I would love to see him fight again, just so there's a clear winner. But then, if there was a winner there, then there would be no argument who should fight Joshua next. That's the problem. It's so murky, and there's different promoters, so it kind of screwed the sport.
Well, I think Joshua should fight all of them just because they're there. The same way Deontay doesn't duck any opponents, and Deontay has fought Luis Ortiz and fought Tyson Fury. If Anthony Joshua is supposed to be one of the undisputed heavyweight champs of the world, you got to go fight the best that's out there.
But it's not Joshua's doing. This is the problem. Everyone goes, oh, Wilder's scared. I hate when people say this. Wilder's scared. Joshua's scared. Fury's scared. No one's scared. At their level, or in the UFC, no one's really scared of anybody. They'll fight anyone. In boxing, it's the promoters. They have different agendas.
It's finances, right?
It's finances.
Promotion.
Eddie Hearn can make more money if Joshua fights this schmuck on whatever the network is, opposed to him taking a risk fighting Wilder, or if he fights Fury and they lose their cash cow. Or no one's trying to fight Ortiz.
Ortiz is a beast.
Southpaw Cuban. We don't know how old he is. He's just
Ortiz is a beast.
I saw you talking about about ESPN and the UFC and the deal that they have now, and how that's going to be harmful for the UFC. So talk about that.
Yeah, so the UFC has come over, and everything. If you want to watch the UFC, it's just on ESPN.
No more pay-per-view.
No, there's pay-per-view.
Okay.
But here's the problem, and they're ahead of the game, but it's behind a paywall now. So if you want to watch the UFC, it's really not on TV. It's just on the ESPN Plus app. So you got to pay for that ESPN Plus app. That's fine, whatever, $9.99. But then if you want to watch pay-per-view, that's behind 2 paywalls. So you got to pay for the ESPN Plus app, then you got to pay for the pay-per-view. So it's all digital now. So like my mom, who's a fan, she's not paying. Yeah. She don't know. She can't
That's
figure
a lot
it out.
to go
so
through.
they're averaging like maybe 100,000, 70,000 buys on pay-per-view. So eventually it's going to pay. It's going to work out because that's the way everything's headed towards digital. But right now it's not working. Mm-hmm. So if you're a guy like you guys have had them in here, like Stylebender or some of these other bigger names, 70,000 people watching your fight. That's nothing.
Wow.
No, you're not a star anymore.
Right.
You walk down the street, no one knows who you are.
Yeah.
And now because Reebok was their sole sponsor, well, those big stars like Stylebender, you could get big brands because millions of people are watching a fight. Well, not only 70,000 people are watching.
Right.
So these big brands aren't interested anymore.
How difficult is it to go from MMA to boxing, and is boxing more lucrative?
Boxing's more lucrative if you're a Floyd Mayweather, if you're a Canelo. So that's what, 1 in a billion.
Yeah.
But everyone looks at boxing like, look how much money they're making. In general, the UFC fighters make more than boxers.
Really?
But the top boxers are in another realm.
Gotcha.
But you got to be one of those 1 in a billion. You got to be a Floyd or a Canelo.
You got to be one of those ones that can make people buy a pay-per-view.
Correct.
Yeah.
You got to be a huge pay-per-view draw. And that still exists in boxing, but not in the UFC.
Did you have anger issues at any point?
Zero. My brother who's in the room always had the anger issues. We went to anger management because he used to always beat me up. I was always chill. I've never caught a case, nothing. I've never been arrested for fighting. I never
He
street
used to
fighted.
get in trouble, and you have to fight for him. That's how you got in MMA.
No, he used to fight for me. He should have been the fighter. He's just lazy. I was just athletic. I ran out of options. I was in the NFL for a hot second.
You said he was in the NFL?
Yeah.
What team?
Buffalo Bills.
Oh.
For a very hot second. Didn't
He said
get
a hot second.
Yeah, didn't get a helmet. They're like, you're good. You don't
In and
need that.
out.
You get a helmet?
Yeah, no. They're like, we're all set on slow white guys. Thank you for your time. I was like, no doubt. No, it's been a dream since I was a child. Thank you for your time, though. Yeah, so I was in the NFL, and then that didn't work out. So I was just athletic, and then, hustling supplements from door to door, and then I started doing jiu-jitsu and boxing. I just got kind of good at it, and then I signed up for the Golden Gloves boxing tournament, won that, and then people were like, oh, you should do MMA, and then next thing you knew, I was on the Ultimate Fighter, and I was like, I guess I'll do this, and then it was off to the races.
Can you fight happy? Like, don't you gotta
No.
kind of like psych yourself out and make yourself angry to get in that octagon?
Yeah, that's what to me was always an athletic competition. I was never angry, so I probably would have been a better fighter if I was like angry. But I was like, dang, I
Life
don't want
is
to hurt
good.
anybody.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
need somebody to help him get up? Is that what you do?
I would if like after Crow Cop, who was one of my biggest fights, I knocked him out. I remember going in the back, being like, "Damn, are you all right, man? What happened?" He's like, "Get out of here, bro! Like, what
I
are you
really wanna see
doing?"
you right
Tyson
now.
used to do that though. Like Tyson would knock you out. You'll never know Tyson would knock people out and they go walk up to him and like hug them. He would do that to every fighter.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah,
It's easy to hug someone when you won, though.
Yeah, I remember I fought this guy Nogueira in Brazil, and it was his home country. If you don't know fighting, that'd be like fighting Michael Jordan in Chicago.
Gotcha.
Like no one. I should not have taken this fight. So I go to Brazil, and he knocks me out. Terrible night of my life. And
on YouTube?
17-hour flight, I'm sure it is. And then I go to the back of the locker room, and I went even after the loss, I went and hugged him. And he was cool because he won, but usually
Right.
it's weird.
Did you hug him to make sure he was good? Like, man, I hope that was just in the ring. And
No,
not
I
anything
just hugged
personal.
him just to be like, dude, like we've gone through this weird experience together. Like
Yeah.
only we can understand this.
Right.
How bad was it though?
But would he get knocked out? I mean, I don't remember. So
Gotta be bad.
I think you had more of a connection to it than he did. He was like, I knocked you out. I don't
yeah,
give a
he was
fuck.
good. He was like, what? Like, going to party tonight, dude. I don't care. What are you talking about?
What's the most you made from a fight?
I make more now in a month than I did in the UFC fighting.
Really?
Dang.
Yeah.
Good
Doing
for you.
comedy.
Doing comedy and podcasting, yeah.
We were talking about this comedian this morning, Ahmed, and somebody had called 911 on him.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, because he was in the club and he was telling jokes and he was like, okay, I'm from the Middle East. Who's from the Middle East? And somebody's like, I'm from Iran. I'm from Pakistan. He's like, okay, we could put together we could organize a terror.
Yeah, I did a bomb joke. Yeah.
And somebody called 911.
Wow.
Is that crazy? So
That's terrible. And the cops showed up?
the cops did come, but they were very polite. They told him, just keep doing your jokes. Don't worry
Oh,
about
my
it.
God.
Isn't that crazy, though, that somebody
That's
could tell a
terrible.
joke?
No,
that-
that's so stupid. It's like the same people that it's just there's etiquette, especially in those clubs. Like, you can say what you want about Louis C.K., but when they record his set and like, I can't believe he said this. This wasn't made for everyone to hear.
Mm-hmm.
He was working out material, and then when you put it down on paper, it looks worse than it is. You don't know the context.
Right.
So a lot of that, especially calling the cops, it's just that's not what it's for.
That's very
So
true.
what
That's
if-
why a lot of comedians won't let you film.
Almost
You got to put your
all comedians don't let you film, but people do. But then there's some clubs, and then especially like Kevin Hart shows, Joe Rogan shows, they take your cell phones.
Right. They take your, and then people will do like write up about it. So you just read it, but you don't get to hear what the joke was. But somebody will be like, yeah, then I went to the comedy show and they said this, and they have to write it because they couldn't film it. And it always sounds way worse than if it was in context.
That's not the medium. It's weird for someone to critique a stand-up special, and write about it. And I don't know. We live in a weird world.
So, okay, scenario.
Negative goes,
You're in a comedy club.
yeah.
Women in the front row.
Yeah.
Louis C.K. performing. Pulls out his dick, starts jacking off.
Oh,
Shouldn't the women call the police on him?
Yes. But
Yeah.
I would assume that the fans are going to take care of him at that point.
Yeah. So it's not all context. Even if he was trying to be funny,
Well,
He
no,
would never do that, though.
he might.
you could make a
Nah.
joke. Maybe make a joke about it, but you can't actually pull your dick out.
Correct. If
You
he
can't
physically
pull
pulled
your
his, I
dick
think
out
if anyone
anywhere.
Guys,
That's
don't
taking
say
physical
penis,
comedy
you
to
know.
another level,
Yeah,
baby.
that's
No,
not.
you
We're trying to
can't
put
do
this on
that.
air, guys. Can you say penis, please?
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I can see both sides, even though I think that the dude that called the 911 on the Ahmed was wrong.
Are we sure it was a dude, not just
I
some
don't
like,
know.
old white
Yeah,
lady or
whoever it
something?
was. But I think it was, I can see both sides. Because on Facebook or social media, they see these people trying to recruit people into these organizations. So probably in their mind, they was like, oh, he's on stage trying to recruit people into an
come on,
organization.
that's
I mean, it's
ridiculous.
bullshit, but I
It's
can
a
see
joke,
it.
and also just because you're from the Middle East doesn't mean that you're a terrorist.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So
No, that's
who's
like
from the
less
Middle
than
East?
1%.
It's a joke.
It's so
But he said it,
stupid.
though.
Yeah, but you're at it's the setting, you know what I'm saying? So it's the context, and people are stupid. Like that's not the way to go. That's
Listen,
not
there's a white guy that's our cameraman who talks about shooting this building up every day. I take
Oh,
not
it's like-
Nick,
not
not
him,
Nick,
not him.
not Nick,
Not this white man.
not Nick.
He's not here right
Not
now.
this one.
Not Nick.
No, not this white man.
this one.
But
Nah,
no,
no.
not Dan either. His name's Steven, but I take him serious.
You should take him
You
serious.
goddamn right. I'm 1 second away from calling the people
Well,
on him.
dude, I would call the cops on him.
This isn't a This isn't a comedy
I'll
show.
call the cops on him. No, hell no.
He's pretty close, though.
I don't want to die,
But if
man.
you call the police on him, you might come back.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Now, how important is your opener or whoever hosts, like when you are doing comedy shows?
Yeah.
Because that really does set the tone. Have you ever had the tone not set in the right way because you picked the wrong opener?
Yeah. So I was in Tampa. Shout out to Tampa. I was in.
That's where this just happened. The story I told you was
really?
in Tampa.
Oh,
Also.
there you go. Well, I was just in there, but this was a year ago. I was in Tampa, and I usually bring my two guys, Derek Poston and Hassan Ahmad, with me. They're Comedy Store regulars and Comedy Store doormen. They're always on the road with me. But this time I didn't bring anybody, and I just let the club book, which I don't do anymore. It's for this reason. Let the club book the feature. And they always bring the feature and the host into the green room to be like, hey, this is Brenden, hopefully it goes good. And they bring this girl back, and she's a little weird. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. She's probably pretty funny. And then the host comes in and he goes, dude, man, I don't know if you met, I forget her name. I don't want to say her name. He's like, I don't know if you met her. That's my ex-girlfriend, and she's here with her boyfriend, and I'm worried they're going to do something. So, I know you know how to fight. So if anything goes down, can you help me out? I'm all, what? I'm like, well, no, dude, just get out of here. So he leaves. He leaves. He goes on stage. Bombs. Like, it doesn't go well. You can tell how nervous he is because his ex-girlfriend's there with this big ass dude. And then she goes on stage. She's not doing well at all. She's just not, it's not her night. I don't think she's a very good comic anyway, but she's not doing well. And she's 6 minutes into her set, and the crowd's going, boo, boo. And finally she goes, oh, please. You're just here to see Brenden Schaub? Why don't you get off his dick? She goes, I've been doing comedy for 8 years. He's been doing it for 2. F that guy.
Really?
What?
Yes. And then obviously it's my crowd, so they're like yelling, throwing bottles at her.
Oh my
And she goes, I
God.
got 3 more minutes. I'm getting my 3 minutes. And then I'm just standing on the side like this. I'm like, what the? Then she comes to the back and she just goes, sorry, bro. And then just
Where is she now?
probably working at Applebee's or something.
Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
Jeez, how did you do that show? How was the show for you?
I walked out and I was just like, I said something, I roasted her a little bit and the crowd loved it, and then it was a good show. I never saw either of them ever again.
Have you ever had a situation where you didn't perform? Like Pete Davidson recently had a situation. He didn't want them to bring up his exes, and then the host went on and did it anyway.
Vinny at the Scratch Factory. What up, Vinny?
Yeah, I love Pete Davidson, but also he should have a little thicker skin. Like if you're gonna date those high-profile women, you should have a little thicker. Like, but didn't the dude come out and just like, hey, make sure you don't talk about this chick.
He
this
mentioned
chick.
it, and he got upset that he mentioned it.
Come on, especially as a comic, have a little thicker skin.
Especially, that everyone's talking about it. It's in the tabloids. You have to make it into a joke.
He could Pete's a brilliant dude. He could easily do that. I don't know. Something else is going on there.
Right.
To not do a show because of that. He just didn't feel like doing a show.
Isn't it a respect thing too, though? If you're a talent and you ask the promoter not to do something and he does it anyway.
Yeah, but it wasn't like the promoter was like, yo, Pete Davidson's here. You might know him because he dated Ariana Grande. Like, he was just like, hey, make sure you don't mention Ariana Grande and Kate Beckinsale. We good? Cool.
He said that to the crowd, though.
Yeah, they said that.
That's kind of crazy. Nobody in the crowd gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
nobody.
But someone did, right? Didn't someone yell out Mac Miller to him? Like,
Yes.
He's sensitive because
Yes.
he was doing another show was it Philly or New York?
Yeah,
And
I don't know where it was, but it was. I remember that.
He was talking about a friend, I think, that passed away, and someone was like, Mac Miller, and he was like, oh, I'm out, man.
He said if you don't remove that guy.
And
Right.
gave him his money back. He's just super sensitive. Most comics are, though.
Oh yeah.
Are you
very,
super
very.
sensitive?
Super sensitive.
Really?
Yeah, super sensitive.
Really?
So what are some
You
things
used to
for
get punched
you?
in the face for a living.
Doesn't mean I liked it, man.
What is-
Got you,
Just because you're
got
good
you.
at something doesn't mean you like it.
Did
What
you
are some
cry?
things you're sensitive
yeah.
about?
I mean, anything. I have a 3-year-old son, so even if I just start talking about my son, I'll get emotional.
That's normal.
That kind of normal. I get emotional on planes, and they say there's a reason for that because when you're high up in the air, like
Altitude.
altitude, and one's false moving, you're
Let me
gonna
guess.
die.
You cry watching movies on a plane.
I got misty watching Stars Born, or whatever.
Oh
it is,
my God,
Bradley
me
Cooper.
too.
I haven't
Yes.
seen it. I was like, damn.
Yo, it's something to that. It's not just me. I told you.
No, he said, Misty, you were bawling, crying.
But no,
wasn't
there's something
balling.
to it. There's science behind
MP
it.
is always under the blanket every
was
time
not
he gets
under
on the
the
plane.
blanket.
Amy
Going
cried
too
during
far.
Creed, bro.
I did.
He did
No,
cry.
I'm dead serious.
It
What's so
was
funny
Creed.
about
Creed
that?
Part 2. Like,
No, it was Creed 1 I cried.
It was Creed 1.
What's so funny?
I'm just saying,
And
man.
The Hate You Give, I cried like that.
He saw
I cried
Michael B.
crazy.
Jordan with his shirt off and started crying tears of joy. Like, he just started,
You cried during A Star Is Born, though. You can't laugh at
true.
Creed.
Spoiler alert, the dude commits suicide. So it's like,
Oh my God,
Wow,
I didn't see the
spoiler
last
alert.
5 minutes.
yo, come on. That movie's been out a hot second.
Jesus Christ.
Come on.
I've never seen it. I don't even want to watch it.
Yeah, you don't need to.
I'm
It's
glad
a
you said that,
remake.
man. I don't
It's-
feel bad crying
No,
on the
don't,
plane.
man. No.
So, what do you do to channel like your aggression now?
I'm not aggressive dude. So just because I played
I'm not
football
adjusted.
and
You
fought,
play football and punch people in the face.
it doesn't mean you have to be aggressive
Okay,
though.
all
Like,
right.
you think Tom Brady's aggressive?
Yes.
No, no, come on.
yes, I do.
That body. No, I mean, I still work out every morning, but I'm not like grappling dudes and getting punched in the face.
Gotcha.
So as long as I work out, I'm good.
You got any long-term setbacks from MMA fighting?
We'll see. You know, I'm kind of curious if Showtime gave me a special because it's like a Make-A-Wish situation where my CT is going to kick in like in 2 years. So they're like, nah, yeah, give that to him. Yeah, there's 100 other better comics. Give it to him though.
Does the wrestling ear ever go away?
No, I could get surgery and make it go away, but with my background, it's like a badge of honor. Like the fighters, like, dude, what are you doing? You've gotten straight Hollywood.
That's called cauliflower ear.
Cauliflower.
Yeah, I'm glad that
I've
you
had
had
an
that.
offer. I've had an offer. You know that show Botched?
Yes.
Remember that? So I was waiting for some news for a show on E. I was supposed to have this show on E. And I'll never forget this. This is like 4 years ago. My agent called me. Goes, I've been waiting for this call all damn day. And he calls me. He goes, I got good news and bad news. Bad news is show's not getting picked up. I was like, oh damn. And he goes, good news is the doctors on Botch want to fix your ears for free. I was like, well, damn, dude, that's not good news. Like, I can't do that,
I'm
man.
botched.
Yeah, I think if you're a former MMA fighter, you have to keep your ears like that because it
Yeah.
protects us civilians who can't
So we
fight.
know not to.
so we know
You know what I'm
exactly
saying?
is.
So if I get into
like
an
a
argument with you
flag.
somewhere, I'll be like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm
Yo,
good.
God bless you, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I guess. In comedy, it's a little weird. Like, I'm a little self-conscious of my ears. I always hide my tattoos.
Really?
Yeah, always.
Why?
Someone told me right when I started comedy, like, you don't want to be a distraction. Like, I dress a little different than other comics, so you don't want to be a distraction with the way you dress or like your tattoos. I'm already a big dude. I look like the dude that bullied you in high school. So right away, when I hit the stage, people are probably like, damn, look at this. What is he doing?
Now that's true because I hated Diesel Carrot Top. Carrot Top was cool when he wasn't Diesel.
Was he cool? Yeah, I mean,
he
guess
wasn't-
I was never like, oh damn. Look
Yeah,
at
I
him go.
wasn't. I didn't think he was hilarious, but I would pay attention to what he was doing. Now it's just like, who's this big Diesel dude with the red hair?
But
Why
he
is
got
on
like work
stage?
done on his face. Looks like he's behind a
Yeah.
plane. Like, it's just like that. He's more of like a character now.
Why
Looks
would
like
he
a
do that?
cartoon. I don't know. I heard his show's good in Vegas though. He's still just like pulling out tricks and stuff out of the trunk.
That's a good niche, though, now that I'm thinking about it, as far as a comedian who is a former MMA fighter who knows a lot about sports. I don't know, is there anybody else like that in that lane?
Joe Rogan.
He didn't fight in the UFC.
Was he an MMA fighter?
No, never.
Oh.
Taekwondo. He had Taekwondo background. He high level Taekwondo. Then he's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. But
Oh, he was just a commentator.
He's a
Yeah,
key
yeah,
commentator. Yeah,
Gotcha.
best commentator in combat sports. You know, he's brilliant. But as far as like fighters, I can't think of any. But hopefully, you know, there's smarter guys than me fighting in the UFC right now. So hopefully those guys and more witty and maybe funnier, and hopefully they look at what I'm doing and it gives them inspiration. That, man, the UFC is such a short career. Like, once you're done, you get out maybe when you're 30, you got your whole life ahead of you. So hopefully it inspires them.
Did Showtime come to you, or did you pitch the show to them?
A little bit of both. So I'm with Showtime, right? So I do a lot of boxing. I do a show called Below the Belt for them. And then when I was getting ready to do, I knew I had a solid hour. I do all my sets around LA, so Comedy Store, Improv, Laugh Factory, and I knew they were there. So it's like a showcase. So it's like Netflix, Amazon, everyone's there, and I didn't feel any pressure because to be doing stand up for around 4 years and get a special is unheard of. So it's kind of like, if it happens, great. If not, I'm fine waiting. I'm gonna be fine. So when I got it, I was like, cool, yeah, let's do it. For me, I needed the validation from a network like Showtime, because coming from MMA, people might think it's like a front or oh, he just needs to do this.
fad or
I don't need
something,
to do anything.
Right.
I'm cool. I don't need to do anything. This is my passion. So I think getting that kind of stamp of approval from Showtime is big for me.
And the price goes up after that, too, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So it basically just validates you as a comedian.
Yeah, that's the whole. Yeah, because I always feel like insecure around other comedians.
Well, tonight at 10 o'clock, You'd be surprised. Make sure you check it out on Showtime tonight. And we appreciate you for joining us.
I appreciate you guys, man. You guys are one of my favorites.
Now, if you really
show.
want this to go viral, you smack Charlamagne one time. But you do it in a nice way because you're not aggressive. Just a nice
Never, man. I love that dude.
Oh, you could smack Envy.
No one needs to get
I'm going to
smacked.
sue. I'm just going to tell you this.
Why are
now.
you guys
smack
so
them, we're gonna sue.
violent? What is
Everyone
wrong
wants to
with
sue
y'all?
these days.
Yes, they do, for no reason.
That's right.
Nah,
All right.
man.
Well, it's the Breakfast Club. Brenden, Schaub.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey.